Dear friends, I hope you're doing well at this time. We've been keeping you in prayer here at Christ Church, and we're in the midst of calling folks on our parish list and reaching out through various ways, but we are indeed in prayer. One of the things I've recently heard, and I'm sure many of us heard, is that in a way today we are staying together by being apart, and so we understand that this is a very stressful and an anxious time for everybody. So what we thought we'd do is just offer a period of reflection on the nature of stress and anxiety. I'd like to introduce the Reverend Canon Dr. Jody Clarke. Jody is an honorary assistant here at Christ Church and our theologian in residence. He also is the associate professor of pastoral theology at the Atlantic School of Theology. So Jody will speak with us and offer us his words. God bless.
Hi, I'm Jody Clarke and I teach at Atlantic School of Theology. I'm the honorary assistant here at Christ Church in Dartmouth. And my area is pastoral theology, and a lot of what I do is help people deal with trauma and crisis and stress. And we're in a time of increased stress and anxiety. So what I'd like to do in the next couple of minutes is just offer 3 really simple exercises that people can use to decrease the anxiety. And I want to say, from my own experience, when I'm going into a really difficult situation, and if I have the time to do these things that I'm going to show you, I do them. And I try to do them regularly anyway, each day. The first is from Dr. Andrew Weil, and it's a breathing exercise. It's referred to as 4, 7, 8. It's a very simple breathing exercise. One of the really important things to realize is that if you breathe, you won't drown. So keep breathing. When we get really, really anxious, what happens is all our blood flows from the front of our brain to the back of our brain, becomes reptilian, and we become very, very reactive. In the face of crisis or stress, the key is not to become reactive. So that's why we do breathing exercises, really essentially to keep oxygen in our brain, to keep blood in our brain. So a really simple exercise, and I'm going to show you 2 to start, is from, as I said, Andrew Weil's work. So you breathe in to a count of 4. Start with your lungs empty. If you're feeling stressed, and I recommend doing this 2 or 3 times a day, at least twice a day, in the morning and the evening. But if you find yourself getting stressed, do it then too. So you breathe into a count of 4, and I'll just do it, and you can watch it, or you can YouTube it and watch him do it. So you breathe in to a count of 4, and your tongue is going to be pushed up against your 2 front teeth. So your tongue is curled and it's looped just behind your 2 front teeth. Breathe into a count of 4 through your nose. And you hold for a count of 7. And then you blow out for a count of 8. Do that 3 more times. Whenever you do it 4 times. I've done it once. I'll do it 3 more times. Hold. Through that exercise, I was able to accomplish 2 things, actually 3 things. The first is to put oxygen back in my brain. The second was just to allow myself to relax. And the third thing that was really beautiful about that is I really come into the moment. So it's a very simple breathing exercise, and you'll find if you have some anxiety, it's a great way to decrease your anxiety. The next thing is another simple breathing exercise. And this is a Jesus-focused one. And you breathe into Jesus. So you're going to breathe in Jesus. So breathe in. As you breathe in and you breathe out, as you breathe out, you're going to breathe out Jesus. So you breathe in and breathe out Jesus. And as you breathe out, you say Jesus. Jesus. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember me. Remember me. Breathe in and breathe out Jesus. Jesus. In. Remember me. I prefer doing that with my eyes open, and I'm going to fix my eyes on a horizontal plane or just below horizontal plane, so there's no stress in the back of my neck. And my eyes are open. I can be seated, I can be standing, I can be kneeling, whichever works. And it's Jesus. Remember me. And I do that 9 times. And if you're not relaxed after 9 times, do it 9 more times. But the idea is just to really allow yourself to relax. So those are 2 breathing exercises. The second one's very much Jesus focused. The first one is really in the moment focused. Both work well if you're feeling anxious and feeling stressed. Trust me, they work. When I've gone in the most stressful situations of my life, the first and most important thing I try to remember is to stay in a state where you're breathing. We make mistakes when we stop breathing. So continue to breathe. Even when we see difficult things, breathe. The third thing I'm going to recommend, and again, it's really simple in response to the world we live in right now, because many of us are quarantined or imposing self-fasting times of being in absence of people, and yet we need people. How do we get through the day? People can get anxious or shack-wacky, essentially. It's a nice vernacular word for just feeling closed in and needing to escape. And there aren't many places to escape to right now. So a really effective thing to do is actually break your day up into 45-minute blocks. I know it sounds strange, but if you have 3 blocks in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 in the evening, it kind of breaks your day up kind of comfortably. For those who do Netflix or watch movies or TV shows, it's really good to keep your body going. And this is what this is about. So go for 45 minutes, put your timer on, and then stop after 45 minutes. For the next 15 minutes, do something radically different. So if you're watching a Netflix show, it's a 48-minute show or an hour-long show, watch your show, but at the end of it, contract with yourself to take 15 minutes to walk around the house, to do something in the house, maybe clean the refrigerator, clean out a cupboard, do something really very practical, move your body around. If you're in a small apartment, do a rotation, walk up and down the hall 20 times, just count yourself doing it. But it gets you out of the flow, because if you sit in front of Netflix for 3 or 4 hours, your body gets sedentary, it gets uncomfortable, and this is just a nice way, A, of accomplishing a few things, if you're so driven, and B, allowing yourself to have the rhythm of the day. So you have things and blocks that are not interminable. It's the same thing's true for reading. If you turn to a voracious reader, put your timer on, read for 45 minutes, then pause. Go 15 minutes. Maybe you can walk around the house depending on the nature of your isolation. But do something for 15, 20 minutes, and then come back. Watch the second episode of that show you're binging. The worst thing you can do is just binge for 8 hours. You're going to feel rotten afterward, and you think, what did I do with the day? This is just another way of getting through a difficult day, a day when you feel quarantined and the world seems small. Discipline, ritual, and when you feel the stress rise, just remember to breathe. So those are 3 things from this chair in Christ Church at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. Blessings to all of you. Thanks.